everyone. So I'm making this video because I just wanted to kind of tell a review about my Implanon Nexplanon injection that I got. Now I'm sure that you've probably seen other videos on it and everything, but I mean, everyone has their own opinion, so I figured I'd just give mine. Now, I've heard a lot of negative stuff about it before I actually went and got it done, and so I was really nervous about it, but I just kind of figured that you'd have to do it yourself to figure out how it's going to work and how it's going to affect your own body. So I went ahead and my OB actually gave me a reference to someone who actually did put it in, because at my local office she did not. But it did not cost me anything with Medicaid, so it was completely covered. I called them as soon as my period started, and they scheduled me an appointment 3 days later, because they have to schedule it within, I think they said 5 days of when you actually start your period. So I actually started my period on the 17th, and that was a Monday. They scheduled me an appointment on that Thursday. So it was just a few days away. I got there and they made me do a pregnancy test just to make sure that I was not pregnant at the time. Of course that came back negative. And other than that, she just sat up to give me my implant. Now, I think the worst part of it was whenever she actually did the numbing agent into your arm. Now, that burnt and kind of stung a little bit, but then after that, I really could not feel anything. She just left it there for probably 3 or 4 minutes to let it sink into your skin, and then she took the big needle with the Implanon in it, and she just kind of put it in there and let the clasp go, and then the Implanon kind of stuck, and then she pulled that out. She then put a regular band-aid over it, and then she wrapped my arm with a pressure bandage. She told me to keep that on for 24 hours, and then the next day whenever I took a shower, to take the band-aid off that she put on whenever I got the implant, and to take my shower, and then whenever I got out, I would have to stick a new bandage on. And then she said to leave that on for 5 days, I believe. I ended up having to take my band-aid off and putting like a gauze on and using like the pressure bandage for it, because I actually broke out around the edges of where the band-aid was. Now, if I can, maybe I can kind of show you. You can kind of see it right here. And they were just little, like, pussy bumps. And they're actually finally just now starting to go away. So, those really, really hurt. But, like I said, I think that is just from the Band-Aid. I've never been allergic to them before, but I guess you really never know. So, I mean, other than that, like, I've heard people say that they have had spotting and bleeding for as long as they were on it, and they had to get it taken out. Now, with me, that is not the case. I have had no spotting. I have had no kind of bleeding whatsoever. Everything with it has actually been really good. Now, I can feel it in my arm. It's just right here. It probably goes from here to about here. So it's probably about 1 inch to 1.25 inches long. It just feels like a little match in my arm. Right now I can kind of feel where like the scar tissue is kind of growing around it, I guess. And I mean, it doesn't hurt or anything. I do notice if I lay on it too hard, or if like I hit it or something, it does feel a little sharp. But I've also only had it for almost 3 weeks now. So, but I mean, I have had nothing seriously wrong with it. Like, no bleeding, no spotting, no headaches, no, like, unusual mood swings or anything of that sort. So, I mean, really, you just have to take in perspective your own body, and I guess just take a chance and do it, because you're really not going to know how you react to it unless you do it yourself and find out. So, that's what I did, and I guess if you really want to know, just go ahead and do it. I mean, it really doesn't hurt or anything. So, I do have just a little spot, a little scar looking thing where she implanted it, but it's really not that big of a deal. It's on the inside of your arm, and it's just like a little dot. So, I mean, that really doesn't bother me. So I guess really that's all I have to say about it right now is, I mean, I really haven't had any serious issues with it. So if you want to get it done, go for it. I mean, the worst comes to worst, you just get it taken out. So, if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to ask me and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And yes, I am very tired, so I do look, I don't know, kind of high, I guess. I guess it is 1 o'clock in the morning now. But, if you guys have any questions about the Implanon, Nexplanon injection, feel free to ask, and I will answer them as best as I can.